And we're rolling.
Since this store is like this, would you say it's an independent store?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm the last of Captain Videos. There's no Captain Videos left. There's no video store,
Right.
period.
Yeah.
Isn't that why you're here in the first place?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ira Belfer, and I've owned Captain Video since March 23rd, 1985.
Located in San Mateo, California, this little independent shop called Captain Video has been around for more than 35 years and has still been going strong since then. But as with all underdog stories, they have their humble beginnings.
The first store opened up in 1981. It was kind of like a chain store. We opened in Daly City, we opened in San Francisco, we opened in Santa Barbara, we opened in Oakland, and they really wanted to open a store down the peninsula. And I had been working in the Daly City store, and I was very interested in opening my store.
Okay.
So they found a location in 2837, and I started, like I said, the first day was March 23rd, 1985. And I've been here ever since.
In a sense, what makes Captain Video so different compared to the other stores?
Longevity, catering to people's special orders and needs, and mostly the adult business has really helped the store survive for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a regular item that people need to have. Regular movies people would rent on the weekends. They'd come on Friday night or Saturday night.
Right.
Well, there's 5 of the nights of the week that you have to survive on. Most people work during the week, so people would come in and rent and buy adult movies, and that was what kept the store going for a long time.
Wow.
But not to the extent that it used to.
Sure. Okay.
And I've gone through 5 formats, beta, and VHS, and DVD, and Blu-ray, and now to an extent 4K.
Right.
While that particular business has kept him afloat for quite a while, he still believes that the 90s were the peak of rental store culture.
Mid-90s, when VHS was going so well, and they were selling 30 and 40 million copies of Little Mermaid and stuff like that, everybody had to have a DVD player, and everybody would buy DVDs. And the rental market was tremendous at that point. At one point, I had 7 people working there.
Really?
Yeah. Not at one time, but I mean, the length of our counter. This is right at the beginning before we even had computers.
Right.
We were doing everything handwriting, writing a slip and handing you a slip. And say, bring back the slip so we can match it to the slip that we have here.
Yeah, like a track.
Yeah, so we could track to see what was out and what was still needed to be returned. Thank God for computers, and it saved a lot of work. The new villain is now streaming.
Is there a challenge keeping the store open?
Well, there's a lot of fallacies going on in streaming, just like there's fallacies of people walking here and they go, oh, you have everything ever made. And go, no, we don't. You can't get everything on streaming.
Right.
And you have to pay. It's not free.
Yeah.
And you're not paying $3 to rent a movie. You're paying $7, $8, $9. And if you can't wait another 2-3 weeks, because most of those things come out almost immediately.
Right.
And now what the companies have done, if they cut me out of the bargain, is they have exclusive things where they only sell it on their streaming service. Stuff I can't get. Anything on Netflix is not available on DVD. And people look at you like, what do you mean? So, just because it's on your TV doesn't mean it's available for public use.
Right.
They don't get that. They don't understand. They think they've been spoiled that everything they've ever pushed a button. Oh, I can get that on DVD. That's not the case. But also the other side is, if somebody's looking for the third season of Home Improvement, you're not going to find that on streaming.
Yeah.
So you have to come to me, and I can dig it up and find it for you. And people want it right now. It's like, I can't do it today, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, with the advent of Amazon and stuff like that, you can get product rather quickly.
Very quickly.
While he explains how streaming services affect his business, he also goes into the nitty-gritty about the industry as well and how it became a fault from the get-go.
I would change probably the constant changing from format to format to format to format. Stick with one, do it well, and do not keep coming up with a new format and reselling the same movie. I mean, you literally can buy a Star Trek movie on Laserdisc, on VHS, on Beta, if you can find it, DVD, Blu-ray, and Blu-ray 4K. The same movie, but they give you a toy. They give you, here's a half a minute of extra footage that you didn't see on the other one.
Right.
So if you're a fan, if you love Star Wars or Indiana Jones, and you have to have everything ever made, you have to buy 6 different versions of the same movie to get everything you want. Beta was like Blu-ray is today. The quality was that good. Not super, 4K-ish, but for the time it was so much better than VHS.
Okay.
And that was another screw up on Sony's part, not letting anybody else make the machine. Doing their own goose.
So, not making this machine, you mean Sony had like just were the only company?
Sony owned the rights to Beta,
Really?
the word Beta. And if nobody else produced the Beta machine except for Sony.
Wow.
I've never even heard of Beta. Like, what is it? Like, what is it like compared to like DVDs or like VHS? Is it like a book or? I've never seen that. I've never even heard of it before.
It died in 1989.
Oh.
You're probably too old, too young to
Yeah.
know to even remember that.
It's like they're almost similar, but you kind of tell the tiny details like the size. And
Well, yeah. But Sony owned the rights to the machine and would not sell it to anybody else. Wow, VHS was made by Panasonic and somebody else. So there was some sort of marketplace. Beta, Sony just said, that's it. We're not selling it. And that machine used to weigh like 50 pounds. It was heavy. It was free electronic. I mean, it was a big unit. But the picture quality was amazing. The other thing I really would wish they did is they actually would have any communication with the stores. They never did. They had dealt with Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, but they never called me and said, "Hey, what do you think we need to do, and what do you suggest we do with such and such?" No, they would call Hollywood and Blockbuster because they buy 100 and 200 and 300 of each title, and they have the clout. So now they call Costco and Target and Walmart, and those are the places that buy that kind of quantity. And that's what determines what happens.
So they kind of just push the indie stores like out of the picture.
They from day one, their idea was to get rid of independent stores. They thought that we were making all the money and they weren't getting a piece of it. Because they came up with the idea of revenue sharing at one point, where it's like the store would buy the movie at a discounted price, and you'd have accounting, and you would have to tell them, I sold and rented this movie 80 times for $200, and they said, where's our $100?
Wow.
And it's like, I would never, ever open up my books. I don't care how many titles you give me. So then you wind up, and what happens in that case is you wind up killing, and that's what Blockbuster did. They killed the marketplace. We grew up with, we don't have it, come back next week. We have this, this, and this. And people would take whatever you had, and next week they come back and find it. If you give them everything you want, they don't need to come back again. It becomes like a constant, like you just give them what they want this week, and this week, and this week. So you have no enticement for them. Mm-hmm. That's another problem that they had. And they were carrying 400 and 500 copies of each movie. Mm-hmm. And what happens on the other end? They dump them for $3 because they can't return them.
Right.
So they're stuck with 500 copies of, Die Hard. So you're selling it for $3, $4, or $8, whatever they were selling in fact back then.
Mm-hmm. The inside.
For clothes that Tristan lost. At Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener. Spray. Relief.
Video Update is continuing its unbelievable deal for you every Tuesday.
For the best movies, Barry's Video has them all. Over 15,000 movies to choose from.
You know, I promised to treat the gang to a movie tonight.
Movie per day. That's right, $2 per day.
With all new categories and a personal guide, it's easy to find the...
Popping up all over the country. There's one near you.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
In recent years, his shop has gone through the worst of the worst, such as the rise of Netflix and other important streaming platforms, Disney Plus, Hulu, and most importantly, COVID.
Did you see a decline in customers over the past few years?
Decline in customers, obviously COVID really took a bite out of the business, but not as much as you think. At the beginning, everybody was just hunkered down, and we stayed open. We never closed. And we always would say to people, you need a mask, and the doors would always be closed. But we had the sign out. We were open for business, and people who would feel comfortable enough to come in here, they would come in. I mean, the COVID didn't affect us that much.
This kind of be a controversial question in the sense of the grand scheme of things, but given that everything's going on that happened in recent years, were you at one point thinking of closing the stores anytime soon or at that moment?
I mean, a thought crossed my brain, but after all these years of putting in the hard work, I just didn't think it was time to give up because of what's going on out there. I figured it's going to last a certain period of time and then it's going to be okay. I knew it was going to last 2-3 years or 2 years. You didn't know.
Of course, yeah.
And then we were taking, precautions. People were getting shots and everything. And it seemed like for a little while there, things opened up a little. People were feeling a little less jittery. And then we got the Omicron started again. And, they said, don't worry because people are not going to die from this. It's just a heavy-duty flu. That's the truth.
Right.
And now they're telling you it's going to be with us the rest of our lives. So what are you going to do? You got to live your life. You can't be afraid of this thing. I've lost a lot of friends because of it, though. Those people have died, and other people who just refuse to come in the store. They're afraid. Don't live your life like that. That's your business.
Despite everything that had happened to him in the store up to that point, he still looks forward in much positivity. He also sees quite a resurgence for fellow people who are rather nostalgic for the particular format of VHS.
Well, I appreciate people's compassion for, when I started winding down the VHS area of the store, I figured I'm just going to get rid of these as long as it takes me to get rid of them. But I've noticed a resurgence in VHS recently. And I read something today which kind of boggles my mind. Somebody paid $75,000 for a sealed copy of Back to the Future on VHS. And it had a little inscription by one of the stars. so it had some value. $75,000 for a VHS tape is a little bit much, but I only charge $1. So I mean, if I could get somebody to come in and give me, when they buy 30, 40 titles, it's like, all right, 40 less. And every day I turn at least 2 or 3 people down who want to just donate it to me. So I don't want the clutter.
Right.
I don't need more Titanics. I already have 14 Titanics. Do I need more Titanics? So what happens is everybody that brings me VHS usually has the same movies.
Right. Just adding more to the pile.
Yeah, it's like, do I really need? I mean, even if I'm not spending any money, I don't want more of it. I can't sell what I got. Why would I take more of it?
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then you find a gem. Find something in there that has some value.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Don't give up on video stores. That's what I gotta tell you. Don't give up. And there is one out here. I'm the only one around here, as far as I know.
Right.
Though some specialty video rental shops survive, the golden age of the video store is over. Browsing the wide variety of online streaming options have largely replaced the wandering aisles of the local rental shop. However, the memories remain to the hearts of many.